you come. Story. Strange story. I heard this story from a good friend of mine in Kfar Chabad, and it seems that the story is true. Well, you'll judge for yourself. He claims he read this story somewhere. I did not read the story, but I heard the story. So listen to the story. A woman, um, a Jewish woman, and she was married to a rabbi and had a child, and they were living happily. And the father got ill and he passed away. Now, she was a fairly young woman and she was left with a child to take care of. And she had very little means to take care of the child. They spent a lot of money on the father's medical bills. So she had to work cleaning up houses and things like that. And simultaneously take her, son, her child with her. A friend would watch the child, whatever, how she figured it. Anyway, the child became sick. The child became very sick, and she had to take the child to the hospital, and the doctor, different doctors, and the doctors all agreed that he has some sort of an undetermined disease, but it's life-threatening. So she heard about a great doctor, very expensive doctor, and she called up this doctor and invited him for a house call. You know, house calls are very expensive. Yes, please, nothing for my son. I can't move him from the house. The doctor came immediately when he arrived. This was a high-rise apartment building. He saw the room, he saw the house, and he realized what the financial situation of this woman was. But nevertheless, he decided to go in and he checked the child, and he said, I know what the disease the child has, and I know what the cure is. And he has to take a certain type of medicine, and it's a treatment that's like a month long, whatever, but it's very expensive. The medicine is very expensive. He said that the doctor said, the professor, whatever, he said, I'll forget about what you owe me. You don't owe me anything. But have you got money to pay for this medicine? The medicine is going to cost you like, $2,000. For my son, I'll do anything. So where do I get it? He says, I know where you can get it. There's a pharmacy. It's about a mile from here. And they can make it for you, but it's very expensive. She said, I'll try. So the last money she has, she gets a taxi and she goes to this place and she says what the medicine that she wants. She shows the prescription from this great professor. And the pharmacist there says, listen, I can fill this prescription and I can give you but this medicine is very expensive. Have you got what to pay for? She says, I don't, but I'm willing to clean. I'll clean up your drugstore. I'm a good worker. I'll clean up. So he said, okay, I'll do it. I'm willing to do it, but you have to sign a contract. And I mean, it means, let's say I can give you, it just so happens that their cleaning lady just quit today. And I'm willing to give you like $10 an hour, which in those days was a good wage, $10, 20, who knows, whatever, a good wage. But one second. So he makes a computation on this. He says, but according to this, you're going to have to come in every day. You don't have to come in on Shabbat. I know you're a religious Jew. You don't have to come in on Shabbat, but every day you have to come in 2 hours clean. That'll be a year and 8 months. She said, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. So she signed the contract. He prepared the medicine for her. She took, it was like 3 bottles or whatever, and she put it in her purse. And she went outside. She didn't have any money for a cab. So she had to walk home. It was already dark. She got there. It was pretty late. So she walked. So she started walking, but unfortunately, the area she was walking through was not exactly a good area. It was a very low down area, and she's walking. After about half of the way there, takes her, let's say, a half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever, to get there. And about half the way there, all of a sudden, she hears this big. So, hey, lady, where are you going? Turns around, there's this massive black guy, and he says, what do you got in the purse? Let's see your money. She says, I don't have any money. I'm going home. All I have is medicine for my son. Please let me alone. Says, sure, I'll let you alone. Let's see the medicine. Takes the guy's all drunk. He's all knocked out. He takes the medicine and he smells it. He takes a little drink. It's terrible. This is awful. This stuff is terrible. You don't have any money for me. You don't have anything. He throws it on the ground, breaks the bottles, and he slaps her in the face and he leaves. So now the poor lady, she picks herself up and all the medicine is all broken. What's she going to do? So she has no choice. And she has to go back. So she takes the broken bottles and she runs back to the to the 15 minutes back to the store. And it's just about closing time. The pharmacist says, "Oh yes, how are you? What happened to your face? What happened to you?" What she says, "Listen, it's a long story. I was just going back and I got assaulted, and then someone broke the bottles. Listen, I'm willing to sign another contract. Please, you have to give me the the medicine." So he said, "Another contract. Okay, let me see these bottles." So he looks at the bottles. He smells the bottles. He said, "Did I give you this?" And she says, "Yeah, this is the bottles you gave me. This is." Says, "I gave you this, really, huh?" So he looks and says, "Whoa." He goes back into the back room and he says, "Listen, I gave you the wrong bottles. The bottles that I made, your medicine, they're on the shelf. And somehow or other, maybe I got confused. I gave you the wrong bottles. If you would have given your son these bottles, your son would have died. And who knows what would have happened to me if it would have gotten out that I made such a ridiculous mistake. Who knows, maybe it would have cost me my license and you could have sued me. I don't believe that this happened. You saved me. Here, take the original bottles. Take the original bottles. I'll give you money for the cab. You can give this to your child. And if you want to come back here and work, you can work. I'll pay you. If you don't want to come back, you don't have to come back. Please just don't tell anybody about the mistake that I made." So he paid for her taxi. She went back home. He gave it to her son. So it ends up that what she thought was the worst of the worst, that this thief broke her bottles and slapped her, it ended up was the best of the best. It came out that it saved her son's life, and she got the bottles for free. And also, it did a big favor for the pharmacist, and she also got a job. She was leaving the place. So sometimes what we think is the worst can actually come out to be the best. Have a good day with Mashiach Now. See you, God willing, tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning.